I've been receiving a ton of questions lately about how to win more shotgun fights, how to hit heavier damage shots, and just what you should really do in shotgun fights in general. So I thought now would be the perfect time to do a live commentary and take you through the biggest tip that I think is going to help any player with shotgun fights and really make you better at winning these. I am working on a giant shotgun guide too, so if you have any questions that you want answered in that video, please leave them down below in the comments. And as always, guys, remember to leave a like if you enjoy this video. Now let's get right into it. The reason I decided that now is the perfect time to make this video is that I feel like with the spam meta in the game right now, you know, the drum gun, the mythic scar, and just SMGs in general, that they are absolutely dominating box fights. Now would be the perfect time to make a video about the biggest mistake I feel like people are making with shotguns. So hopefully we're going to drop in here, we're going to get a shotgun, and I can get right into telling you guys what is really going to improve your game. So first of all, guys, with shotguns, there's obviously the debate of tack versus pump. And you know, that's very up to personal opinion on if you think the tack or the pump's better, but in my case, I think generally you want the tack if it's blue or below, because pumps just don't hit for that much whenever they're not purple or gold. But purple or gold, I would take the pump in almost every scenario just for the fact that you can hit a 200 damage pump. So I know that's not the one thing we're going to be talking about in this video, not the only thing, but I thought that would be something that'd be very useful to talk about. I'm going to try to find a fight at the agency real quick so I can show you guys exactly the mistake that you guys are making, and then we'll talk about it in further detail. All right, it sounds like somebody's down in the vault. Bro, these henchmen are something else a lot of the time, man. So we got two players here right now. This is perfect. Perfect scenario to show you guys some shotgun fights. Oh my gosh, bro. All right, now we got a purple pump too. So this is perfect. This is perfect for the live comm. Okay, so we got somebody approaching. Basically, what we're going for in these fights, and what I think a lot of people mess up with shotguns, is just maybe from a lack of experience in past shooters, but you know, it's something I picked up just from all the shooters I've played in my life. But whenever you're using a shotgun, your goal should be, of course, to hit high damage shots. And that's where I feel like people are right in Fortnite, trying to hit higher damage shots. But what they do, and the mistake they make, is they sacrifice their bodies to hit higher damage shots. And what I mean by that is, have you ever played with a friend who maybe hasn't played Fortnite in a while, or you see somebody who loses to somebody that I would say is maybe a lower skilled player? In that scenario, a lot of times, maybe they have a tack shotgun like I just had, and they shoot, they maybe hit somebody for a lot, and they get excited, and they just keep running straight at that person, and they shoot again. So what you got to do and be more conscious of whenever you're playing these shotgun fights is position yourself to take less damage in the fight from the shotgun shot. So what I did in that last fight, that guy was editing through. I knew he was going to edit that wall right there. So what I did was I moved down at a weird angle that I knew would be hard for him to hit. So let's say, for example, oh, here we go. We got a fight right here. So I'm just trying to position myself to where it's going to be tough shots for him to hit. And that was a very good move by him right there. I wasn't expecting to be facing somebody of this degree, but basically we're just moving ourselves to where it's tough angles for them to hit. So that guy hit me right there for what? I was at 75. So math, he hit me for like 27. That is, you can get hit for 27 in a fight. That's absolutely fine. But what I was doing was, while I was trying to assess how good this guy was at building or what angle I could get on this guy, I was moving up and to the side. So when that guy jump shotted from this side, he only hit me for like 27, which is absolutely fine. I don't know if my math's right. It's currently 3 a.m. in the morning. So, you know, my math could definitely be wrong. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is there's a couple different strategies for taking less damage in fights, and we're going to be talking about them in this video. Oh, man. This guy just... Okay, so strategy number one, guys, is, of course, you know, building. I'm out of mats, man, and this guy wants to crank, and he's cranking again. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, we got the drum gun now, too. We are just about as stacked as it gets in Fortnite right now. What I want to talk about, though, is the different ways to take less damage in fights, because obviously you guys are probably like, Cole, we know that your goal is to take less damage in fights. That's so obvious. But Do you really use them to your best advantage? Do you think about them when you're in fights? Are they natural reflexes for you? Because once that becomes true, and once you're answering yes to those, that's when you're going to start winning more shotgun fights. So for example, let's say somebody's over here and you got to decide when to crouch shoot or when to like shoot straight up like this, when to ADS and all of that. So let's say somebody is, you know, on this ramp or, you know, ramping up at me. I'm the bush and they're going for a shot like this. That's when it's actually a great time to, so they're strafing that way. That's a great time to strafe this way and shoot up at them. Because if you're strafing, remember, they're jump shotting. They're going to have to flick mid-air, which is much harder than you're hitting this shot if you ADS at them when they're in the air like that. So remember, you're trying to make them hit less damage shots. So you're trying to expose your head as little as possible, or maybe put more distance between your head and their shots. And that's the type of stuff that's going to win you these fights. Like right here. We're just going to come on in here. That's too easy of a fight to really use as an example. But this guy using his minigun, I'm actually curious if he's going to chop me down right now with this. Hopefully not. Hopefully we got a second or two. There it goes. So remember, we're trying to take less damage with this guy's shot. So right there, we get the shot in, and this guy just, that was a decent move by him. Get me up and close. Right now, I feel like I'm kind of overbuilding, but you guys do see, like, watch this. Watch this move right here. He's got his shotgun out. I want him to take his shotgun out. I didn't want to talk about this example in that fight specifically, but you know, when you're trying to take less damage in fights, I don't know if you guys remember this, but do you remember when Tfue did the game where he took 0 damage the entire game? I was trying to show you guys the lower skill plays first before we get to the end game, which usually is going to take some more higher skill plays to win the fights. So basically, of course, you want to build between shots, but you want to keep in mind, and I feel like this is the #1 thing a lot of tips and tricks YouTubers mess up when they say, oh, build between shots. And, you know, I've done this before too. But you don't want to just build between shots. You want to be moving with your builds. And what I mean by that is in those fights right there. All right, that guy was on low ground. I was trying to get a shot right here. So I didn't just shoot and build like that, right? I was strafe jumping to the side, shot and built. So not only did that guy have to track my strafe to the right, which you can also strafe this way, I could have jumped straight up and down to give myself an even harder angle for that guy to hit me, and he'd have to be extremely accurate. But I not only did that, I also laid the floor to protect me from his shot in case he was able to get that too. So that guy had the smallest window of opportunity to actually hit a shot back on me. So it's these things that, especially in the game right now, and I definitely need to be taking this med kit, but it's these things in the game right now that where there's no health per kill or anything like that. And maybe you feel like every time you finish a shotgun fight that there's another person on top of you and you don't have enough health to survive the fight. Well, maybe it's because you're taking too much damage in the fight because you're not keeping these things in mind and making them a regular practice. You need to be working on your right to left strafing. You need to be working on crouch peeking inside fights, because crouch peeking around corners and things like that, especially if, like, let's say you got the right shoulder peek that we always talk about, but why don't you try every once in a while, especially if you're on using hard mats where the person can't see you, like through metal. I don't have metal right now, but if they can't see you through the metal and you peek around the corner, why don't you try peeking with a crouch shot and swiping up with that? You're going to be surprised at how many times somebody is going to shoot over your head when you're crouch peeking because they're using their crosshair placement where they think your head's going to be. So it's little things like this that are going to make you a much, much better player. I just want to talk about for a second, of course, another way to not take damage in fights, in shotgun fights specifically, is to do edit shots, edit resets, things like that as well, which of course those are great ways, but those are more advanced. I want you guys to perfect the movement first, and then I'm going to talk more about ways to do edits inside fights with shotguns mixed in with combos to take less damage. So right here, this guy dropped down and is obviously looking for a fight. Now, that was a good shotgun shot. This is actually a really good opportunity to talk about something that I feel like isn't talked about enough in Fortnite. Oh, man, I couldn't pick up that kill. When somebody's landing on you, wow, aim assist, love it. When somebody's landing on you like that guy just landed on me, what you want to do is try to get your shotgun shot in on them when they're in the air and then build immediately like I did. So I got the shotgun shot and then I built. All of a sudden, it's a build fight where I have the health advantage because I just shot him out of the air. At least I died to fall damage instead of a mistake in a shotgun fight. Now that I'm editing this video, I know it sounds super not complicated at all, just taking less damage in fights, but using your movement to actually take less damage is something that's very complicated, and it's something that you have to develop over time through playing shooters. In my opinion anyways, that's at least how I see it. So if you guys want me to go more in depth with this subject and show you more ways rather than just a live comm, let me know down below because I'd definitely be down to do that for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't mind using code rodeybros in the shop, that would really mean a lot to me. I'll see you all in the next video.